You hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you clearly. I was asking about this. I think how can you after let me start here the first order block you mark here to the left side, not there, not there. Yeah, no, yeah, there. From there, you mark that as the point of interest for the next move. Then the price go on, then break the structure there, come back to this liquidity here. You mark here, the second one. You see, near the second order block. Yeah, but not that's one, but not returned to this one, this order block down sides. Yeah, what the reason behind there?
Well, um, one thing you need to understand is that
Yeah,
when you're looking at market structure, especially when it is within this range, you should
yeah,
understand that the intention initially was to clear out this high.
to clear out
Okay.
the high. Yeah,
And that was before why they were doing that, they were creating liquidity, cleared out this liquidity here, right?
yeah,
Came back down, mitigate these points, went back up, did not
yeah,
really clear out anything, just created an inducement here, which is
yeah,
liquidity,
yeah.
then came back down. Now, returning back down, that was a mitigation of the internal range within this one here,
Yeah.
right? I want to, what
Yeah,
I'm trying to explain to you is one simple thing. From the first class we had, I broke down how
yeah,
everything can be understood using market structure. I'm going to proceed. I'm going to proceed to the point where I would explain confirmation entry and aggressive entry. Okay, that will
yeah,
take us to where we now start having these patterns I told you about. This I'm doing is just breaking down the beginning. I'm just giving you basic information of how you get to the point where you start looking for price clearing out liquidity and trying to get an
yeah.
entry. Do you understand?
Okay,
So this is the
I
big boy
understand.
stuff. This is the main stuff. But for you to understand this, you have to understand this structure, alignment I explained for you in the beginning. Do you
Yeah,
understand? Do you understand?
yeah,
So, and
I
for you to be
understand.
able to make money with all these points now, you have to understand those risk management, trading plan, all those stuff we did in episode 1. That is the beginning aspect of the mentorship, creating a solid
Okay.
trading plan. Okay.
Mm,
Now back to this.
yeah.
Why this is happening? What do you think was the reason why price created liquidity here and created liquidity here? Relative equal lows here, relative equal
Yeah,
lows here.
yeah.
Why do you think he did that?
I don't know. I don't know.
So how do you think I would know?
Yeah. That's why I needed to hear information from you.
Okay. All right. So first of
Yeah,
all, I'm trying to give you the understanding that we are all trading the market. Okay.
yeah,
I'm speaking from experience. I'm not saying I know everything. Do you understand?
yeah. For
What I'm
yeah,
explaining for you is the means of which I am able to explain, the market using smart money concepts. If we were using a theory, if we're using technical analysis from Wyckoff, probably I would have used
yeah,
a schematic and would have used that schematic to try and understand why this happened. Do you understand?
yeah. Okay.
That's the reason why we use
Yeah,
Wyckoff. We try to understand why this thing happened. Or if we're using a theory from Elliott wave, we try to use those Elliott wave theories to break down, why all this happened. Do you understand? So
yeah.
what I'm about to break down to you is basically using smart money concepts to try and understand why all these things happened. Do you
Okay.
understand me? So don't think because I can explain some certain things to you means I know everything. You can learn from your own experience and learn something I don't even know. Do you understand?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
why I asked you that question from the beginning. Are you aware that you might be going to learn from this experience and you might not end up make money, but you would learn something new from your own experience? Do you understand? Or you're going to make money. And if you're going to make money, then you will not focus on models. You will focus on how fast you can get your money and get out. You will just
Okay.
focus on one pattern, which is that change of character I showed you in the beginning. If you're going to go and do discovery to try and explain why all these kind of things happened,
Okay.
you might end up losing the account, but you will learn. You will learn. You will learn that thing you came for. but you might not make any money. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just made a color that can be explainable to a certain level of what is going on in this, chat box. So we can use that. So this now can explain to a certain degree using market structure. Okay. So
Okay.
the green one would identify the market structure that was happening within this point. All right. So price used this particular range to create liquidity for this level and then created a new range, which this range now, on the internal level of this range, did not really make any break of structure. So this whole move, why did you think this was made? Why did they come this close? Why did they not clear out this low? Why did they reserve this? Did you think they reserved it
Well,
to?
it didn't clear out. You see from the and maybe I can say something because what I see from this breakout structure here. After breaking out, then he confirmed. Then he go upward to this liquidity above, but coming back again to retest this to retest this change of character here. But he didn't manage to come to order block. Then he traced back to the upside direction there.
If you go to based on timing, if you go to
Yeah,
let's use from the concept of some ICT models, or let's use some actual timing, or
timing.
if
Yes.
you look at this when this whole incident happened, okay, that was on the
Okay.
22nd, on the 21st of May, 22nd of May, and 23rd of May. If you check that period in time, there would be a fundamental, that is news. There would be a news that would have prompted this manipulation here.
Oh.
Do you understand? The major area of
And
interest was this,
yeah.
but price did a stop hunt.
Okay.
So this was this structure within this. And this can happen. Do you understand? This can happen. Sometimes the market is
Okay.
not understandable. It can happen. Manipulations happen. If you go, I
Yeah.
can assure you that if you go back to this period in time, May 25th, we're talking about this is on the 4-hour time frame.
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
25th. Let's zoom in closer so we can see. Okay, this was on the 25th, 22nd, sorry. 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. So this was on the 25th, 22nd, 20th, yes. Go to 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Around that period, probably the US was having a very weird news, maybe with Donald Trump or something like that. But around that period, there would be fundamental news that would be defending this move here as a manipulation. Okay, so sometimes it happens. But in terms of technical analysis, if you're using this for analysis now, this would be liquidity because at the end of the day, the money that did this will be cleared out. Do you understand? And then this high
Yeah.
that was cleared out here, this was the low
Become
that did it. This was the major low that did, and that low mitigated this
a
point here. Do you understand?
okay.
So at the end of the day, we
Yeah.
might end up seeing a manipulation that clears out this
Okay.
point. Do you understand? Something like this.
Okay.
But if that doesn't happen, then this low, which is a major low as well, having this as an internal low, this is an internal low because as you can see, it is within this range. That was why I say this low might get cleared out too, and price might not clear out this low. Price can do that. You understand? This is also a swing low. This is also a swing low. Okay, so price can still do something like this. Remember, we can't explain why any of it happens, but we can understand how to follow up if any of them happen. That is looking at the same pattern all these things did, which is this pattern here.
Okay.
That is this pattern I just drew for you here. That same pattern is what happened here.
Pattern from the same area. Oh.
Can you see it?
Yeah. You see.
The same pattern that happened here. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Where price mitigated this point. If we go to a higher time frame now, you would see why price mitigated this point. And that would be the same pattern, clearing out this liquidity, doing this, and then price break structure, mitigates this. And that's the same thing that
Oh.
happened here. Cleared out liquidity, break structure,
At the same time,
mitigated this.
once you hit some prices, you just retracing to somewhere, you have to go to the higher time frame to check if there is a maybe to the bigger time frame, maybe there will be an order block. That's why there will be retracing to that area. Oh,
Have you seen it?
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Do you now see that on the daily time frame, we are just on the internal structure of this?
Yeah, yeah.
So you understand the idea of top-down analysis now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I get the concept why the price is tracing to that area because there is an order block to the bigger time frame to the daily, I think.
And as you can see,
But to
on the daily time frame, price cleared at this point.
yeah.
It's just a stop
Okay.
loss. But price retraced back into this order block here.
You have to trace back. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You see? And then this other block here, we are just refining this point of interest here. After price cleared
Yeah.
out this liquidity, break this structure here, retrace back to this other block.
Okay.
Let me use a different color for this one.
Okay.
So this will be on the daily time frame. Price return back to mitigate this one, which was on the 4-hour time frame, right? On the lower time frame,
Yeah.
before it goes back up. So all this manipulation that happened here that I said, during the news period was within the internal structure. That is lower time frame manipulation. That's how you do manipulation. On the higher time frame is not significant. Nothing changes on the higher time frame, but on the lower time frame, you see all these movements. You see? And the price creates a new order block, this point.
Yeah.
And then after that, price does what? Goes up to clear out this high and to clear out this high, which is creating a new higher high, this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then what the price do? Return back down to mitigate this other block here.
Mitigated it.
Now it's going back up.
Yeah.
Now there's a major break of structure here,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's why we are expecting something like, that's why we say price might be bearish. We're expecting a change of character so we can see something like this. That's this point now. We're trying to look for where price would clear out next. Is it this one
Yeah.
to clear out all
Yeah.
this other block, like this?
Yeah.
That's the swing idea, is this one. This is the internal
Okay.
structure idea. That is price clearing out just this low, just this low.
Okay.
This is the 4-hour idea. That is price clearing out this low. But at the end of the day, on the daily structure, all this is just liquidity and price could just clear it all out before going back up. And then at the same time, on the weekly time frame, there might be no need for any of this to happen. And price just does something like this, keeps going back up.
Okay. Before proceeding there, I see how you mark this one after mitigation. You mark as if the price must exceed the order block below. Why the price maybe have to exceed the order block?
Because the intentions of
After
this range has been completed. This range was to create a new higher high, right? Higher
yeah.
high, higher low, right? This is a new higher high.
Exactly.
So price might need to create a new what? Lower high. So all this happened within this range.
Oh, understand, understand.
If
So
price is coming
this
back
is
down,
just
why would this has been mitigated already? So it's now liquidity. Price would have to clear. That's why it doesn't work anymore. Because price will need to create a new structure on the daily time frame. Everything on the lower time frame become liquidity.
okay, okay. So just on a higher time frame, this is not a higher low again. Just the value one is just this one from the left. So okay, understand now. Understand.
I think this episode is also very important. I might post this one maybe next week. Watch the first episode. Repeat it as usual. And then this one, maybe I'll post this one next week. So because this one is also very important as well. It's giving you a lot of clearance. And I think that is something you might need to come back to maybe when you forget again, or you need to remember. Do you
Yeah,
understand?
yeah.
Because if we refine this, if they say refine your area of interest, that is reduce the area of interest. It's too big. You reduce it to this. Do you understand? But if you're looking at it from the daily time frame, is this. Reduce it to the 1-hour time frame, is just this. That's why it's called time frames. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I do hear.
So this is the daily time frame. Refining it to the lower time frame is to get this. So you can have an entry like this.
Okay.
So you can have an entry like this. And then on the 4-hour time frame, it will look like this.
Okay. Understand correctly.
Do you understand now?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
if you were trading this one too, your entry would be here. SL will be here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And this would be the overall target here, this one, which is this high.
yeah. That's there.
So once all this has been completed, do you think price will now come back to respect this? This is all liquidity.
Okay.
All this SL here, there's money here, there's money here, there's money here. So if price is coming back down, it's to clear out all this money that they didn't clear out. Those people that did not take profits, they are all liquidity now. Do you understand? Because a new trend has been broken. If this was market structure, and this would have been the first entry.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This was the daily time frame entry that was refined. But right now, the market is very messy. This is the only thing that is happening. I was in a sell yesterday. I got stopped out today because I refined my entry. I refined it. So I broke even. I thought price was already going down. I got stopped out. I was in this trade earlier this morning. I was here. I sold here. Had my SL here. How did I even get stopped out? Wait, though. I think that trade might still be active.
Targeting to that low border block.
Yes, this is my first target. Overall, I was targeting this low.
Okay.
Oh, shit. It was the volatility. I got disappointed and I left. That was yesterday. That was yesterday, not today. That was yesterday's trade. So do you understand how this whole thing works now? It's another problem too. Do you understand? This was my first target. But at
Okay.
the end of the day,
For
it's not really a problem. It's just, an experience too. You had a question?
yeah, for confirming that this trade is just coming back to just to form a higher low to the big time frame. So I have to wait here. Then the price will break up this order block. Then after that we have to retrace back to the order block yeah, to that order block. Then to proceed to the bearish movement, is it? Yeah. That's what
This is what you're talking
have
about,
to.
right?
Yeah.
That is something like this.
Yeah. Absolutely, like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're understanding this more, and that's a good thing, But something also you have to be aware of is that something like this can happen.
Okay.
Something like this can happen.
Oh, this is like a breaker block.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So this happens to be the breaker block pattern instead of other block, and then ends up creating liquidity
Okay.
for this one.
So just to be vigilant to the market, what is printing.
Change of character on the lower time frame. Like for example, what I did here, I was not wrong. You understand? Because
Yeah.
this was the only way to protect myself. And at the end of the
Yeah.
day, this is not something that happen every day. This kind of, retracement and all of that. So it's something that happen once in a while. Do you understand?
Oh,
So when
okay.
when when you're in a situation like this, a change of character is mostly very, very important to pay attention to. If price gets to this point and you see a change of character here, okay, that's bullish. And the price gets to this point, you see a change of character here.
Yeah.
You understand? So this will be something like this. Clearing out liquidity here
Okay. Okay.
and also changing character on the lower time frame.
Yeah.
Mitigate this one. Okay. And that will be mitigating this one as well. So it's a buy and a sell at the same time. But if you pay attention to what happened next, if this doesn't happen, this would happen.
Okay. Sometimes this one. Okay.
Do you understand?
Oh. Yeah.
Let me draw that again. If this doesn't happen, then this will happen.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, change of character. Pay attention to the character of market. This behavior, is this still bearish or is this still bullish? For now, it's still looking bearish. And it's more bearish because we can see that the bullish price action failed to go above this high. And if you turn this to candle, if you turn this candlesticks to line charts now, there was never any high here. That means this was always a manipulation. On the line chart, these transactions never happened. So it's a manipulation because this whole struggle is just basically a resistance. Do you understand? Let me hide everything.
Yeah.
You see, it never happened. So there's just a major resistance here, and price is failing to break the resistance, which means we might be going bearish. We might be going bearish. You can see the change of character on the lower time frame here already on the line chart, and there was no bullish break of structure here. So there's a shift happening. And once this low gets cleared out, that's the first confirmation. That's the same low we're talking about here. That's the breaker block pattern.
Okay, so this is manipulation. Okay.
So if this gets broken, you pay attention to the area of interest here. It's a two-sided coin. Do you understand? Anything can happen. You just have to pay attention to this market structure. Once you see something like this happening, pay attention to this point. If price doesn't break this point and does this, then you're going to start seeing signs like this. And then you can join in. You can join in here, your asset here, and target this high.
Yeah.
You can still be in a buy here on this low. Are you seeing this?
Yeah.
So all this never happened.
Yeah. And never happened because you say this one was just a stop hunt. As the price reaches that resistance only, then it come back.
And let me take this out. Let me show you something.
Okay.
Okay, let me take this out. All right, if you look at this, if we take this out too, and then you look at this, and then you say, what do you think structure is doing? There's a struggle here, low momentum. The bears are failing to push to the downside, which is creating all this low. Okay. The bulls are also failing to push to the upside, all liquidity. So what if price decides to go higher, clear out all this liquidity here, which is probably the TP of this one, just to generate more liquidity here, and then ends back coming back down later on. That means the price action is still bullish. The only way that can be true is if the higher time frame is not done. Let's say the higher time frame is still very bullish. So something like this ends up happening. Which one do you think is correct?
Yeah, from there, the bearish one is correct.
Look at this. This is a break of structure, right?
Yeah.
And then if you take this out, and you pay attention to just the internal structure of this, is there any is there any bearish break of structure yet?
Okay, no.
Is there any bearish break of structure yet? Is there any change of character here?
Yeah, okay.
Because if we
No
identify,
change.
if we
No
identify
change.
this, which is the market structure, the internal structure, right?
Okay.
And we do this. So why are you bearish? Won't this be the change of character from this trend to this trend? Because I just identified the internal structure for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm doing here is that what I want, I'm doing this because I want to explain something to you. This is a
Yeah. Yeah.
psychological game. Do you understand?
Psych. Yeah.
This is a very, very psychological game. It's a mind game. Okay?
Mind the game.
It's a very, very big mind game. If you're not conscious and you're not careful, you will lose your money. Oh. You're about to go live. Do you understand? You're about to go live. This is live. This is no longer um, demo trading. You said you got a Profim account. Good for you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand? But I asked you a simple question at the beginning of the Zoom. I said, are you sure you're able to, you're coming here to learn from experience or you're coming here to make money? If you're coming here to learn from experience, you're going to learn. You might not make any money. You're going to learn. If you're coming here to make money, you're going to be smart. You're going to be very, very smart. Because I had the
Okay.
bias earlier in the morning. I told you I got a break even. I was on break even. I just showed you the reason why I was on break even. All these things was already on my head. Do you understand? I knew this
Yeah.
perspective, even when I was looking at that other bearish perspective. Do you get?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you understand? So
Yeah.
while I'm looking to buy, I'm also looking to sell. I'm just looking at who is correct. I'm not here to choose side. I'm just looking at which one is correct. And right now, the bears look like they are not really strong enough to push the market down because we have been in a bearish position for a long time. If price was bearish, it will go down. And we can see that the major trend has always been bullish. We are within premium. Yes. Remember, we talked about premium and discount at the beginning, right? We're within premium of this range, right? And we're expecting price to come back down. Are you with me? Hello, are you with me?
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you.
So we are within premium bar and we're expecting price to come back down.
Yeah.
But at the same time, have you seen any change of character yet?
From there.
From here, within this
From
internal
there, no
structure,
any change of character.
within the internal structure here, have you seen any change of character yet?
From that premium, there is no any change of character up to now.
So even if you're thinking of a bearish idea, even if you're looking at, okay, because we're within premium, we sell within premium, right? We buy within discounts. Even if you're looking to sell, you're looking to catch the big ride down. That's why you place your SL here. Because if you're wrong, then you should get stopped out like this. This was the first idea I showed you. That doesn't mean the guys
Okay.
who are buying are still not buying. So who do you think will be correct here? Who do you think is who do you think is correct?
For bearish to be valid, the price must come down to break the structure and then to have a change of character, then to reverse back to mitigate to the order block, then you will be valid for safe movement to the downward side.
This is a live market. Okay, this is a live market. I just brought you up to speed. You're now a live trader.
Yeah.
This is the problem. Let me put it this way. This is the struggle we are currently having on NZD USD as live traders. So you want to trade live. This is live trading. So now, are you going to buy or are you going to?
Oh,
I just showed you the perspective of SMC on NZD USD. Would you buy or would you sell?
from there, is
Think
it?
about that. And then this is a trade. This is a live trade. For me,
Okay. Okay.
I would say this is a buy because we are not seeing any bearish change of character. The Zoom is going to end in 2 minutes. So for you,
Yeah.
if you think it's a sell, you can look into the sell. Do you understand? I'm going to send it to the group. That's why I placed this tag. I'm going to create a public poll on the Telegram community. let people vote. Then I'm going to share the recording with everybody so they can also learn how I was able to do this. You understand?
Okay.
So you can
Yeah.
understand. So from their own voting, from the voting and everybody's opinion, you can also see who has the higher votes. The people who say buy or the people who say sell, who had the higher vote. Do you understand? We're going to do that.
Okay.